The kangaroo is Australia's national symbol. The koala is one of Australia's most well-known symbols, as you may know. However, kangaroos are, too. The kangaroo is a significant element of Australian culture, therefore you'll see references to it all across the country. They are prominently featured on the country's coat of arms and even part of the coinage. The kangaroo's instantly recognizable form has also been appropriated as the official symbol of numerous government agencies. Both the Royal Australian Air Force and Qantas Airways Limited, the world's third oldest continuously operating airline, fall under this category. Kangaroos are probably one of the most iconic animals in Australia, along with koalas and flying foxes. However, kangaroos aren't actually one species. Instead, the name refers to 4 different species of kangaroo, each one is different as it is similar to the others. Native to Australia and New Guinea, kangaroos are herbivores. In the wild, they typically only live for around 5 years. Under human care, however, their lifespan increases to 25 years. Just a few weeks after mating, they give birth to an immature offspring called a joey. For kangaroos in particular, the joey stays in the pouch for another year until it is ready to leave the safety of its mother. There are several names for male and female kangaroos, just like there are for joeys. The male kangaroo is called a boomer and the female is called a flyer. Like with deer, they might also be referred to as a buck and a doe. The collective noun for a group of kangaroos is court, but mob, herd, and troop are also in use. Socially complex kangaroo communities often have 10 or more members. The red kangaroo, the antilopine kangaroo, the eastern gray kangaroo, and the western gray kangaroo are the 4 kangaroo species. Similarities among species are outweighed by differences in size, coloration, and geographic range. The International Union for the Conservation of Nature classifies all 4 kangaroo species as least concern for their survival. Australian law protects kangaroos and other native animals, but restricted commercial shooting is allowed. Facts about kangaroo. One of the most fascinating aspects of kangaroos is that they are the largest mammal on the planet. Osphrinter rufus, more often known as the red kangaroo, is the biggest extant marsupial on Earth. Males can reach heights of up to 2 meters and weights of up to 90 kilograms, making them significantly larger than females. The Australian government predicted that by the year 2020, there would be 42.8 million kangaroos living in areas suitable for commercial harvest. This suggests that there are more people in Australia and New Guinea who have been overlooked. Their rear legs are like springs. Kangaroos are able to store elastic strain energy in the form of enormous tendons in their hind legs. Most of the power required for hopping comes from this source rather than through muscular exertion. They can sprint up to 70 kilometers per hour for brief periods and cruise at 25 kilometers per hour for several kilometers. They have a vertical jumping ability of above 8 meters. Red kangaroos, which are huge and muscular, may jump more than 8 meters in one go. Australia's kangaroo population provides a considerable economic boost. In Australia, kangaroos are just another type of common wild game. This means they are frequently the target of hunting for a variety of reasons, including the removal of competition for grazing areas and the production of leather and meat. It's been established that kangaroo meat is safe for human eating, much more so than more conventional meats like beef or pork. This is due to the low fat content and high protein content of kangaroo meat. Even though some places, like California, have prohibited kangaroo meat, it's still significant to the indigenous people of Australia. Kangaroo meat is a staple food for Australia's Aboriginal population. They have digestive systems similar to cows. When a person eats, their food goes straight to the stomach where it is digested and then on to the small intestines. Differences exist amongst kangaroos. Kangaroos are herbivores, thus they digest their food in a unique way due to the high fiber content of the plants they eat. Kangaroos, like cows, are able to fit their food into their single-chambered stomach by regurgitating it and then reconsuming it. They don't burp like lambs and cows. Due to their herbivorous diet, cattle fart and burp out significant volumes of methane. However, kangaroos don't have this issue since they convert waste gases into acetate, a salt that can be utilized for energy. Researchers are considering the use of these bacteria in cattle to aid in this process and so minimize carbon emissions. They resemble elephant and manatee teeth in appearance. Their digestive system isn't the only thing that sets them apart. Additionally, kangaroos have unique mammalian teeth. Even though they share some anatomical features, the molars of these two species couldn't be more different. Kangaroos, like elephants, have more than one set of adult teeth, but humans only have one. Kangaroos have evolved the ability to replace worn teeth because eating grass may be hard on their enamel. Old, decayed molars will shift forwards before they fall out and are replaced by newer, stronger teeth. This phenomenon, known as polyphyodonty, occurs in only two other mammalian species, elephants and manatees. What this means is that new teeth are constantly erupting from their gums and replacing the old ones. They're the only huge animals that get around by jumping. Bouncing animals like frogs and bunnies are commonplace in your experience. Jumping, however, is not very common among animals. Getting around fast might be challenging, and even jumping can be taxing on the body. Despite the difficulties, kangaroos are the largest animals that rely on jumping for their primary mode of mobility. When moving slowly, they rely on their tail like a fifth leg. Kangaroos are capable of pentapedal getting around, in which they hop forwards on their hind legs while supporting their weight with their forelimbs and tail. They have a boxing match. Fighting has been observed amongst males of all kangaroo subspecies, usually over territory or water. They stand on their hind legs, stance resembling a boxer's stance, and paw at each other's heads and shoulders. They tend to lean back and deliver body kicks via soaring kicks. Most battles are brief and preceded by some light brushing and scratching between the combatants. They're unable to go in reverse. This is because they are unable to do so due to the size of their feet and tail. It is not uncommon for them to go under with their rivals. As excellent swimmers, kangaroos would naturally flee to safety in the water if they are being chased by a predator like a dog. If a dingo or stray cat follows a kangaroo, the kangaroo can use its muscular forelimbs to keep the predator at bay or even drown it. 9 out of 10 times when a car and an animal collide in Australia, it's a kangaroo. When traveling around Australia at night, it is not uncommon to observe kangaroos grazing by the side of the road with their glowing eyes. Unfortunately, kangaroos are vulnerable to being hit by cars and doing significant damage to vehicles due to their size, as they can be frightened by the lights and sounds of passing vehicles.